Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Actors Area. I am your host, Sean Robert Grant. Happy to be here today, as always. I always like to start every podcast with that because, and you'll see further along in today's episode, you really have to be happy and you really have to want to do what you're doing in order for it to be a success. Okay, when we talk about success, we're not even necessarily just discussing the idea of having outside approval. Okay, we talk about success, we're talking about you being fulfilled as you do it. If you actually took that definition and applied it to success, in acting, in everything, you'd realize that you're much more of a success than you even, could have imagined. And it's important to do that. As a matter of fact, let's make that the first aspect that's going to help you to realize more success as an actor in 2020. Just understand, take that definition and know it as your truth, that success is not about outside approval. It's more about you starting, finishing, completing, and accepting the fact that you had joy doing it. You had a good time doing it. You learned, you grew, you accepted, and now you're off to the next one, okay? So, just a tidbit of information starting off with that. And so, it's interesting because around this time, which is quote unquote pilot season, there's a lot of animosity. There's a lot of anxiousness or anxiety around the idea of having to be in this space of booking. Okay. And it's easy to get focused so much on booking that you let go of being, right? As actors, we can sometimes get so caught up in doership that we knock ourselves out even before we get into the ring, right? So the very first thing to realize, well, I guess 1A, or the second thing you'll realize after the first one, is that get into a grounded center of being. And what I mean by that is get into a place where you can feel like a success regardless of what outcomes are brought to you. Okay? Not sure how you do that, but everybody has some kind of way that they can do that. It can be music. It can be listening to your own music if you're an artist. It can be journaling. It can be talking to someone who makes you feel good. It could even be watching some of your previous work. Or for me, it's just meditating. It's connecting to the divine essence within me, and I can reach this place of being completely acceptant of what is, which means I'm not attached to an outcome, right? I'm not attached to an outcome. When I'm in that place, I'm in a relaxed state and I can do my very best in auditions, on set, anywhere, because I can see everything for exactly what it is. Okay? So that number one or two thing, whatever you want to call it, just be grounded. Be centered in something that helps you know that everything you're seeking is already within you. Call it spirituality, call it consciousness, call it whatever you want. Just get to that place. Okay? Perfect. Moving on. The next thing that I found is an integral part to succeeding in anything is just really having the desire to do it, right? We get so hyped up for New Year's and New Year's resolutions and all that other good stuff that we often find ourselves repeating the same steps over and over and over following the insanity and thinking that, okay, this time it's going to be different. But in actuality, what we really have to do, you've got to face the year ahead, but in the present moment and say, okay, is this what I really want? Okay? Is this what I really want? And so looking back on a couple days ago, or matter yesterday, I think it was, I did a podcast and it talked about the energy of having to and wanting to, right? And so those are two distinguishable energies that determine two distinguishable outcomes for the most part, right? So if you want to, and you want to be acting and you want to succeed, that energy is going to carry you to success without a doubt. It may take a little bit of time because of other things aligning, but that type of energy is going to take you to that place. Okay? So you have to figure out if this is what you want. And guess what? Even if it's not, take some time away. Go do something else. Like, figure out a way to see, okay, is this a desire that's burnt out for good, or is it something that's going to be rekindled when I go to something else, right? A lot of times you find, for me especially, I'll go and do something else and I'm still in love with acting. I'm still in love with the concept of acting, so I got to get back to it, right? And I come back ready to rock and roll and ready to do my thing, but I'm wanting to be there. And that becomes the difference in succeeding and failing, okay? So determine what it is that you desire, right? And moving on to the next one, the very next one is just a flip side of that coin, right? Is realizing what is it that you do not desire? What is it that's, I don't want to say hurting you, but hindering you in a sense? Because ultimately, here's the thing. And this is why a lot of times I was my best friend. Before I met my wife, if it wasn't my younger brother, I was my best friend, because oftentimes you have to deal with the energy of other people that does not contribute to a high vibrational state of mind for yourself. And if you're not vibing at a high if you're not vibing at a high level of consciousness, you're going to suffer, right? Your work's going to suffer. And it's just, that's how it goes. And sometimes if you do wind up getting success, it catches you in the end because, anyway, it's important to understand that the energy of the company you keep is so very integral to your success. And here's why. If there's somebody there that is potentially a hater, potentially someone who does not have your best interests at heart, and you continue to see these people, you continue to spend time with these people, you're going to get sucked into the very thing that they're doing, and you're not going to make any progress, right? And a lot of times it's not personal, but it's one of those things. You'll never see a wealthy person hanging around somebody that's poor, that's struggling, that's not in a position to really take care of their own. And the same goes with acting, right? Oftentimes successful people are drawn to successful people because the vibration of being more than enough, of not lacking, is on point. And also, you don't want somebody coming in doubting every single thing you do, so you're not going to allow that into your circle of energy, right? So with that being said, with that being the way that it is, think about the type of energy that's surrounding you, right? And this not only goes for people, this goes for places. Where are you frequenting? Are you going to a class where it seems like, there's individuals who are not making you better, where it's so last year, right? Figure this stuff out. Because when you figure this out, just remember the small changes make a big difference. Okay. And before I move any further, all I want to say is that when it comes down to being a teacher, when it comes down to you know influencing individuals, teaching is more about me giving you what has worked for me in the past and allowing you to interpret it in your own life, because everybody's life is unique, right? So take this, use it, see how it works for you, and alter it in any way you possibly can, and allow that to be your own personal transformation. So I just want you to know that I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just offering you suggestions as to what could potentially work for you from this standpoint. Okay? And moving right along. The next thing, and this is something that I feel like is important to everybody, is journaling, right? And journaling at least once per day. I talked a little bit to some people about doing the morning pages. And then sometimes, people feel like, oh, well, I don't have the time. Okay, I get it. 3 pages, sometimes it can be long, especially when you got stuff to do. But you know what you do? Do 1 page. Do 1 page of expressing whatever it is on your mind as soon as you wake up, and just go from there. By journaling what you feel, you're releasing, you're taking off the edge of anything energetically that could be holding you back from moving to a place of being where you need to be. Okay? So Dollar Tree has notebooks, Target has notebooks. If you want like a really cute, nice, and sparkly notebook, you can actually go to Dollar Tree and get a notebook and get a whole bunch of stickers and just create it the way that you want. You don't have to spend much money on this, but it's the idea that you're journaling every day that's allowing you to be in touch with your emotions and to free up any energy that could be stagnant, but more importantly, free up any energy that can help you emotionally as an actor. Okay? So moving on. Next one is waking up early. Okay? Waking up early. And there's a couple things that this does for you as an actor and actress. The most important one is and I'm not saying you got to wake up at 4 o'clock, but waking up early, and preferably at a time when nobody's awake. So this could be between 4 and 6 a.m., depending on what time you get up. This allows you to be in the alpha state, which is the most receptive state for your subconscious mind. All right? It's the most receptive state for your subconscious mind, meaning, let's say if you wake up and you journal or you write down some things that you want to focus on today, or you have some incantations or prayers that you want to meditate on, this is the time to do it, because the unconscious mind is going to take it and it's going to implement it into your life, right? So waking up early allows you to get a jump on that. That's the first aspect, the first benefit to this. The second benefit is you get a chance to start your day early, right? And if you're an actor, if you're a full-time actor, the greatest thing you can do for yourself is give yourself time, right? So there was a time when I used to wake up at 3:30 in the morning. And waking up at 3:30 in the morning and meditating for an hour, and then going to work out, or rather going to the beach and then going to work out, literally, I did 1/3 of my day of everything that I really wanted to do before 8:30, right? And in all honesty, this was so amazing, because what I discovered is I had finished 1/3 of my day, sometimes even half of my day, and people were just waking up. Now it's nothing against them, because this is something that I wanted to do and I wound up doing it, but it became something so epically important to my life as an actor, and just in general, because it gave me so much time. Just imagine this. Your day gets 5 extra hours of waking time added to it, right? So you go from being awake for 13 hours to, being awake for 17, 18 hours or something like that. I don't know if I did the math right. But anyway, what that does so much for you. That does so much for you. Like submissions, like studying, like watching videos. I mean, you got places like YouTube and Reddit and Quora that offer so many different instances of acting. Like Backstage has forums and stuff like that. If you want to read articles and stuff, you have the time to inundate yourself into you. Even if you're working like a side job, take the time to wake up early enough to give you the opportunity to make yourself in alignment with your source. Because here's what I'll tell you. If you take the time to be in alignment with source in the morning, you take that time to be in alignment, that side job you have, it won't be around for long, because a side job is not what's going to allow you to live your truth. So you continue to do that, you'll find that job will fall away and you'll be doing what you really desire to do from a heart's perspective, from a soul standpoint. Okay? So be sure to wake up early. And like I said, it doesn't have to be 4 a.m. right away. Try 6, try, if you wake up at 9 normally, try waking up at 7 or try waking up at 6:30. See what works and get into the habit of doing that. And I promise you, your day is going to go so much smoother, because that anxiety that comes when it feels like you got to get so much done, but you don't have enough time, that's going to get thrown out the window, because you're going to be like, well, I've got so much time. And one of my favorite things to do, because I can wake up early, is read. It's the most amazing thing is you can read books, articles, websites on acting and on anything else that will help you be a greater performer. So it pays to wake up early. And so moving into the very last thing that's going to help you to succeed in 2020 as an actor, succeed more, is just be patient with yourself. Okay? Be patient with yourself. I'm going to be honest with you. And I've always hoped that I've been honest, and I feel like I have, but you don't need fame. You don't need fortune. You don't need all these things that media sometimes makes us, feel like we have to be under the impression that we have to have this. It's never a case of having to have anything, right? What you need to know is that moment to moment, you're going to be the best person, the best performer. You're going to allow life to work in your favor and bring you the opportunities that are in congruence with your soul. You're going to do that, and you're going to be patient with yourself, right? And so what that means is, if something hadn't happened by the end of February, don't get discouraged, right? If something hadn't happened by the end of June, don't get discouraged, right? You could be working all year long, and then all of a sudden, the last 3 months of the year, you're booking like crazy. It's happened to me in the past. So, but the objective, the prime objective, is to be as patient with yourself as possible and to continue to do stuff that enhances who you are as a person and as an actor. And I promise you, regardless of what the outcome is, you will not be disappointed at the end of the day when you do this. Guys, it's 2020. Go for whatever it is that you want and desire. And I wish you the very best in doing it. Other than that, ending the episode, we will talk soon. Take care.